What's up, everybody? My name is Chad. You're watching Downshift Pass, and this is the original hot hatch, the 2022 Volkswagen GTI Autobahn 6-speed manual. And that's right, folks, this is the fully loaded 6-speed manual Autobahn edition. Of course, we're going to go over the exterior, the interior, take it for a drive, take a listen to the audio system. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. Let's go ahead and get started. And let's start with the exterior styling of the GTI, folks, which, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I actually really love the way this car looks. It's probably this awesome color that it is in. But let's start with the front end here. Starting with these headlights, this is Volkswagen's IQ headlight system. So you have an LED turn signal, LED daytime running light, LED headlights, and of course LED fog lights. These 5 fog lights down here look really amazing. I love it. Best part about this front end though is this is an actual light bar. I'll make sure to put some B-roll footage in. A light bar that lights up. The Volkswagen sign does break it apart, but at nighttime it looks really aggressive coming up on you as you have that full LED strip in the front. Of course, you have your nice bumper, parking sensors in the front as well. And as we come along to the side here, this is when you can really tell that this is the Autobahn edition, basically by those wheels which are exclusive to the Autobahn. They are a 19-inch rim, and the tire is a Goodyear Eagle F1 tire, which is a really awesome tire for this vehicle. You do have red brake calipers as well, so it's red in the front and the rear. Then you have your GTI badging on the front fender. You have your turn signals on the rear view mirrors, which look really nice. And then of course you have your panel roof up top. And as we move along to the back, this is when it gets a little rough for me. It's a little too boxy looking, but it doesn't look terrible. You have a nice spoiler up top, which is body colored, which I appreciate. Rear wiper, and then your turn signals are LED, brake lights are LED. And then you have the nice exhaust pipes here, which are nice in diameter, a nice size in diameter on both sides of the vehicle. Speaking of, let's go ahead and take a listen. All right, folks, and what you just heard is this right here. This is Volkswagen's 2-liter turbocharged engine, produces 241 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque, which is an increase over the previous generation. Gas mileage is 25 in the city, 36 on the highway for the auto. This is the 6-speed manual transmission, so it's going to get 35 miles per gallon on the highway, which is really amazing for the amount of fun that you can have in this car. And I'm moving quick today, folks, because it is raining out here in Atlanta. But opening the hatch here, as you can see, it's a Volkswagen Golf, a GTI, so you have pretty decent space back here. Of course, the seats do fold down at the push of a button here, and they will fold all the way flat, all 3 rows. And then under here, you don't have too much of anything except a spare tire and your subwoofer as well. But let's go ahead and hop in the car. Now, hopping into the GTI, here is the key here, a brand new design for Volkswagen, which I love. Looks really premium. You have your lock button, unlock. This is to unlock the hatch, not a power hatch or anything. And then a panic button of a little guy, looks like he's jumping out and running, which is kind of funny to me. But of course you can use this to lock the car and unlock it, or with the key in your pocket, just walk up to it, stick your hand behind the handle, it will unlock, push here, and it will lock. But let's go ahead and unlock it. Then I'll unlock it here so we can hop into the back and I can show you the space of the GTI. Now, I do have the driver's seat in my seating position. I am 5'8", very tall, I know, but I do fit back here, guys. Now, you don't have much room for your feet under the seat, and my knees are right on the seat back, but you know, you can make it work for a short trip. This is the passenger seat. It's almost touching the back seat here, but if they slide it up, you can actually fit 2 people back here pretty comfortably. 3 will be a stretch. You do have your nice leather seats back here, and you also have an armrest right here with 2 cup holders and a little middle piece here. And then my favorite part about the back seat is you actually have these 2 pockets, which are the perfect size to place a cell phone. So you can just grab your phone, put it back in here, hard to do with one hand. Boom. And you see it's nice and slow. It won't slide back when somebody's up there power shifting. And you have two of them on both sides of the car. So I think that's a really awesome little feature that they threw back here. All right, and closing the door to the GTI. Nice solid thunk to the door, and then it kind of ends there. This interior, if you're familiar with older Volkswagen products, will not impress you guys, just to be completely honest. Let me go ahead and get it started up, get a little AC going. As you can see, or probably not, the seat actually has a exit function, so it'll slide back when you cut the car off. And then it has a memory function as well down here. Excuse my mic. Has a memory function down here as well, so it'll go back in place to where your seating position was. Now, coming along the dash here, I think this looks really cool. This is going to be your headlight control. Just push the mode button and you can set it to auto, headlights on, off. This is your fog lights here as well, how you control those, and then your defroster functions are here as well. Now these two screens here are actually both 10-inch screens. Clarity on them are decent enough. This we'll talk about during the drive and in just a moment, but this, your odometer display here, is extremely customizable, which I love. This car does have a head-up display as well. I have it turned off, but I'll cut it on during the drive. But if you want to control it, you just use these steering wheel controls here, and it's relatively simple. You want to control the left, you start with the left, and then you can just go up and down and choose from so many different options: compass, G meter, charge pressure, performance, acceleration, so on and so forth. Now if you want to change the, I think I said left, this is the right. If you want to change the left side, you just correspond to the left side and it will do the same thing. Hang on. You just go to the left side and it will do the same thing. And honestly, the options are completely the same on this side as well. So it's just whatever you want to have your setup on. I had it set up on the speedometer in the middle, what I was listening to on this side, and then gas on that side. And if you want to control the middle, you just press the OK button. Well, hang on, let me go back. And actually, I am happy that this confusion is happening in the video, because that is what this car suffers from with the infotainment system, to be honest.
1 hour later.
Okay, and we are back, folks. So again, if you press the OK button in the middle, that is how you control everything that is in the middle: speed, lap timer, gear display, whatever you want to choose, you could put it here. Then you have a view button as well, and the view just changes to the different views that you can use in your gauge cluster here. So there's one, more of a standard look. This shows the map, very Audi-esque. It's a little small if you ask me. I think they could have really filled this completely out, but hey. Then your other option is going to be, this is going to be for like lane centering. Once you're driving, the car will actually show right here, and then it goes to you just having a speedometer in the middle. I keep it like this because I just enjoy it, and then just have the speed in the middle here. Leather wrapped steering wheel, which feels really, really good in the hand. Of course, it is flat bottom, and it actually is heated as well. And not only that, you have 3 levels of heating, so that's a nice luxury feature that I wasn't really expecting on this vehicle, and it actually comes on the base model as well. On your left side here is where you control all of your cruise control functions. Of course, you have your GTI badging with the red here, because that's just very, very GTI. Now let's move on to this infotainment system. I am a tech head, guys. I love technology, and let me tell you something. This is a fail on Volkswagen. I was reading about it in all of the other reviews I've seen or read about, and I'm like, oh, they're being a little dramatic. They really are not. This is a pretty harsh system. I think that's what I'll say. One neat thing about it, on the Autobahn, it does have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You do have heated and cooled seats as well, but just controlling it is just a little frustrating, actually. And then you have these 4 buttons down here which control the same thing. But if I want to do something simple, like, let me cut on my heated seat, because you know I love a heated seat. You think you just push here to cut it on? No, you push there, then the screen comes up for you to control it, then you can cut it on and off. And it's just too, I don't know what that was. It's just too much. It's just too touch sensitive here. And believe it or not, here are your temperature controls. So this is how I control the temperature here with a slider, or you can actually just push on it, but sliding is quicker. You do have rear controls as well, so you can control the rear from the front or let your rear passengers control it. And then in the middle here is where you control your volume, which is on a slider, which is always a mistake. I don't think any car company should do that. I could go on and on about this infotainment system. Just know it will frustrate you. You'll touch things that you don't mean to touch. It's just terrible. And this doesn't even light up at nighttime, which, what kind of afterthought was Volkswagen thinking? I just don't understand, but I digress. And I will continue on. Down here you do have a wireless charger, which is a really nice feature to have. And then you do have some USB ports as well if you need to charge your phones. Of course, your push button start. 6-speed Manny Tranny here. Very nice throws, very closely spaced. And if you want to put it in reverse in typical German fashion, down, over, and up. Electronic parking brake, 2 cup holders right here, as well as some storage space in the middle. And I love how Volkswagen always lets you just kind of ratchet it up a little bit to where you want your arm to be. So that's always a neat feature. And boom. All right, and then of course you have your glove compartment here. And then one thing I do love is that the door pockets are lined with felt, which is great for sound deadening, so it won't rattle around in here. Then you have your nice panoramic sunroof, which is also controlled by a slider, which I'm not understanding here. Slide back and it opens up, slide forward and it closes. If you want to stop it at anywhere, you just push on it. If you want to vent it, you also just push in the middle and it'll go to the vent position. These lights are also touch sensitive, so I've cut those on by mistake. I've pushed this button by mistake. This interior is, oh man, I want to love it, but I simply just cannot. The materials are not there. The soft touch materials are down here, but this is hard. This is not. It just feels, if you are used to Volkswagen having more premium interiors, this won't be the vehicle for you. But if you have driven a GTI before, this will be the vehicle for you. So let's get into that. All right, folks, setting out here in the 2022 Volkswagen GTI Autobahn edition with the 6-speed Manny Tranny. Very excited about this one, guys. I'm in Atlanta's West Side Park. If I'm not mistaken, the largest park in Atlanta, or one of them. Beautiful, beautiful park, and this is always my favorite part right here. But let's talk drive modes, because here at Downshift Pass, we're all about the drive. If you want to change your drive mode, you do have a button down here that says mode. You just click on that. Custom, sport, comfort, eco. Of course, custom, you can just customize actually quite a bit on this vehicle. And I know it's raining. I apologize about that if the video is not coming out as clear with what you're able to see. But let's go ahead. If you do custom, this is where you can control it. Come to a stop so you can control it. So DCC is how you control your suspension settings, steering, drivetrain, engine sound, ACC, light assist, climate control, which is very random, but very cool, I guess. But I'm gonna, of course, leave it in sport mode. There is no launch control on this vehicle, so if you do want to launch, I'm not gonna do too much in this rain here. First gear, and just let it rip. Ooh. Woo-wee. That wheel hop is brutal. I first want to start by apologizing to the GTI for that. Feels like you heard it when you do that. But the acceleration on this car, really good. This thing is very, very torquey, which is something I've always appreciated about GTIs. They've always, especially be front wheel drive, they will just pull right on through. just a very torquey little 2-liter engine. Now, I do have the car in sport mode, which on the Autobahn you do have, again, that adaptive suspension, and on these rough roads it does get a little rough. One of the beautiful things about all GTIs has always been the fact that it's the perfect everyday car. It's not too rough, it's not too soft, but with the adaptive suspension now you're able to make it a little bit more rough if that's what you're into. But I'm not, so I'm going to go ahead and press mode here, put it in comfort setting, and it smooths it out so well. It's pretty amazing, the difference that you feel between sport and comfort. Something that I actually love. So I'm going to keep it in comfort until I get on the highway, just to kind of modulate the bumps here as I'm driving and for what you're viewing. Now let's talk transmission feel. If you know Volkswagen, you know they have some of the best transmissions on the market, and this GTI does not disappoint. It's a very good pedal feel. It's actually a little bit more firm than I'm used to Volkswagen's feeling, but it's not heavy at all. It's something that you can absolutely live every day with. Close ratio, she's talking to me. I would like to do nothing. Close ratio 6-speed transmission as well, but definitely not hard to bang off the gears if you would like. I really enjoy the seats in the GTI as well. They are snug without being too tight. They are a whole one piece though, which looks a little, I don't know, juvenile or something to me. I wish it had an adjustable headrest. It kind of gives me what the SI used to be way back in the day when it was just that one whole seat. A little weird to me, so that's something to think about, but nothing that's going to be a deal breaker, obviously, hopefully not for anyone. Again, you do get leather seats on the Autobahn edition. If you want those famous plaid seats, you have to go for the base model or the S model, but the leather seats feel really good. They're actually a very soft leather, something I really enjoy, especially over long road trips. It won't fatigue your body compared to those plaid seats. All right, folks, I'm moving into the final thoughts on the 2023 Volkswagen GTI Autobahn edition. Guys, this is just a really compelling hot hatch. It combines practicality, it has the sportiness, it's overall just the best of both worlds, in my opinion. Now, some of the pros with the car, again, you do have that sporty performance. So of course you have that turbocharged engine, really sharp handling on the car as well. You have the adaptive suspension, which makes it very comfortable to be a daily driver, and when you want to have spirited drives, you tap a button, boom, it becomes a little bit more aggressive and a lot more fun for you. Another cool thing about the GTI, especially the Autobahn edition, is the tech features. Of course, you have your adaptive cruise control, you have the available digital cockpit, so just some really cool tech features, the head-up display that you can play with and really customize the car to your liking. And of course, it's a hatchback, so you have the practicality with the ample cargo room. It's just a great car for performance and utility when you think about it from that front. So that's what makes it the perfect daily driver. One of the biggest cons for me personally is just the price tag. When you start looking at the Autobahn edition specifically, I mean, you're looking at over $40,000, and that's when it starts to become a little bit of a stretch. I would probably stretch my money a little further and just get a Golf R, especially if you can find one at MSRP. Good luck, probably won't happen, but if you can, I think it is just a better choice. So that's the only con I would really give with the car. And overall, folks, this car is just tailored for enthusiasts who appreciate a nice balance between performance and everyday usability. It's perfect for individuals. It's perfect for small families who prioritize a sporty driving experience just without sacrificing that practicality. And also buyers seeking something a little bit more premium than what you would normally get in this segment. Overall, the Autobahn edition I think is great. If you can spring for it, definitely get it over the base model. But if you can spring for the Golf R, I would go with the Golf R. Thanks for watching.